Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Whatever time you're watching the Student Athlete Playbook video conversation, we say thank you. And you know how we do. We have the best student athletes, the best parents, the best coaches, the best youth service providers, anybody that's working with young people and they're doing something positive. We try to have them on the show. And this is no different. Right now, we're making history once again because for the second time in student athlete playbook video conversation history, we having a sibling being interviewed and featured on this show. So a couple of years ago, we had a young man by the name of Bradley Mason Jr. featured on this show with his dad, Mr. Bradley Mason. And tonight we have Bradley Jr.'s younger brother, Bradley Sr.'s youngest son, Dylan Mason, featured on the Student Athlete Playbook video conversation. And man, we couldn't be any happier because when you see a family producing these kind of young men, then they have to be highlighted. So now, if you don't know me, my name is Barry Brown, author of the Amazon bestseller, The Student Athlete Playbook, and one of the members of the outstanding team for youth education and sports and the Student Athlete Achievement Program, where we help young men, young ladies develop into outstanding members of society by using sports as a tool to become professionals in every walk of life, y'all. So that's what we do with the Student Athlete Achievement Program. And we're here to feature a young man that's headed in an outstanding direction, to be an outstanding leader, outstanding young man out here in the world. And his name is Dylan Mason, a cross country and track student athlete at a South Fulton High School that we know so well, the mighty Creekside High School over in Fairburn, Georgia. Dylan, Bradley, how y'all doing this evening?
Fantastic, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, man. Doing wonderful. Well, Dylan, hey man, we're gonna jump right into it. Man, I've known you for a while. As a young man, you probably don't even remember when I first met you, but your daddy brought you by the studio over there in Monroe, man. 100
Yes.
doing 100 yards of sports, and I met you, man. You was a little guy, man. You and your brother, but man, it's beautiful to see y'all grow up and y'all doing these amazing things. You know, you're in high school now. Your brother's in college now. So shout out to Bradley Jr. doing his thing, and man, I'm just excited for you. So we gonna jump right into it, man. I know how you've been raised. You know what I'm saying? Your dad don't play no game. I knew that from the minute I met him. So I know you got some great training and some home training. But what like you playing sports, you hitting the books, you got a 3.1 GPA that's outstanding. Like where do you and we want to give props to mom too, but like where did you get your work ethic? Where do you believe you got your work ethic from?
Truthfully, it is just watching my parents work and then also watching my brother work as an athlete and in school, watching him grow and be better, made me want to work harder, do better things.
That's what's up. So you watching your brother, you watching your parents. Yeah, see, now you just said something. You just said something mighty. I tell people this all the time. They're like, man, them kids ain't paying no attention to us. I'm like, wrong. They watching every single thing you do.
Everything.
And you just said it. You just said it. So thank you for that, Dylan. Yeah. So you watch your brother, you watch your parents, and then you just do what you know to do. I love it, man. I love it. So you're a cross country and track student athlete. What other sports did you play growing up? What other sports have you played?
My first sport was soccer. I did that for 1 year. I was like real young, probably around 3. And then afterwards, I started playing football. And then that lasted up until 7th grade. And then I played basketball up until last year, which was 9th grade. And so, yeah, I played a few sports.
Okay. I got you. So soccer, football. Okay. And what was that other sport you said? Soccer, football, or basketball?
Yeah, it was basketball.
Okay. That's what's up. So that's cool, man. Yeah, because I know a lot of coaches when you talk to a lot of coaches, college coaches, they always try to figure out, or they like. I've heard a lot of them say they like multi-sport
Yes.
student athlete, or at least you had a background at some point in your life you played other sports. So that's good. That's excellent, Dylan. So now, Bradley, let's go to you for a second, my brother.
Oh yeah.
Now, when Dylan was younger, even Bradley Jr., what did you want? What did you want to instill in him? Like, what did you like? You say, man, I want my kids to do certain things, because as parents, we want that for our kids. But did you have an idea of what you wanted to instill in him to help him accomplish his goals as he was
Yeah.
growing up, and
Oh yeah.
did you have a vision and plan for them?
Well, the biggest thing for me, man, just want them to be just really good people above everything else. The sports, I got them into sports about learning about working for a goal and learning how, hey, at some point, team oriented goals and just having a work ethic. Being in sports forces you that you got to practice it. It teaches you discipline about, and working really hard at something, and sometimes it's not quite working out when you're playing rec ball, and it's not you did all that work Monday through Friday, and then come Saturday, it just don't work out. The score 34-3. So but
Right.
Right. Sometimes you put all the work in you want, and it don't pan out. But that's what, next week you strap them back on, you go back at it one more week. And so that's the main thing for me with sports, is teaching you about having a common goal, working for another, having someone else depend on you, and you having to depend on another person to get an end goal. And that's a big thing for me to get my sports. But I wanted to have good kids, just good people, that being good kids who grow into being good people. Because the end thing is that at some point, this is going to be someone's spouse, someone's father. And those things are going to carry you far longer than something about running a track or catching a football or shooting a basketball. So those are the most important things. You're just having good, where when someone says something, they talk about, hey, your kids are such really good kids. That's so much better than telling me, oh man, them 22 he scored against such and such school last Friday was impressive. And yeah, a really good kid. That's
Right.
so much better than me. So that was my big thing.
I love it. Good. The first thing you said, good person.
Oh yeah.
A good attitude. Hey man, that is. I agree with you. That is the biggest compliment I believe you can get from a person when they meet your kids and they say, man, hey bro, you got some great kids. Yeah, that's a huge compliment to the parents. Bradley, let me ask you this then, Bradley. With that being said, when you hear that, when somebody meets your boys while they're with you or away from you, like how many times have you talked to your other brothers and sisters about this kind of stuff? Like, hey man, how important is it for people to say that about your kids? Like, do you talk with people about it all the time? But that's a rare or infrequent conversation.
It comes up. It comes up, and because I notice myself doing it. I meet someone else's kids, and you be like, man, I met your son last week, and man, you sit and talk to him, because just like you, everything we've been doing is always around circle around someone active with children or young adults.
Right.
Yeah, you talking to him like, man, that's a really good kid. Just listen to him talk, where he carried himself during the conversation, and you see him out somewhere. You're like, that's a really good kid. And I caught myself doing it. And I knew that was something I wanted. Like, man, just having good kids, it means so much. Versus like, man, I saw one of Mason boys. Oh my goodness. Woo.
Right.
Man, that's what you do, man. Because I grew up where if you embarrass your folks, I promise you get home. That phone call's already been sent. It wasn't no text message. It was a phone call on that rotary phone. Hey, I just saw your boy the other day up at the McDonald's acting a fool. And you acting a fool. You're acting a fool. And you're going to get them hands when you come through that door.
Absolutely. Yeah. That old school raising is amazing. And I think the parents that hold on to that now, that, hey man, we're not playing no games with you. This is how we've trained you to act. This is how we expect you to act. And definitely when you're not with me, you better be acting right. Because if I get a phone call about you acting any other way, you already know it's a problem when you get home. I like that. That's how it's supposed to go down, in my opinion. I think other people have different opinions, but hey, that's cool. Everybody got their right to an opinion.
Absolutely, you got a right to opinion.
Exactly. But I love what you've done with your sons. Like matter of fact, before we started, here's an example of it. Before we even started the conversation, Bradley Jr. came in and said hello. That's a part of home training. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a part of, hey, oh damn man, that's Coach Brown. Let me go say hello.
Yeah.
See, I appreciate stuff like that. But hey, I love it, man. I love it. So parents, coaches, educators watching this video, you heard it from Dylan himself. He's become who he has thus far in his life by watching his parents, watching his brother. So Dylan been paying attention. And Bradley, Mr. Mason himself said, hey, man, this is what we expect. Hey, I want my children to be good people. Hey, man, it gets no better than that. I love it. I love it. So Dylan, let's go back to you for a second.
Okay.
You obviously take learning and academics very seriously. Like, what's your favorite subject? What's your favorite class right now in school?
Say my favorite class, it could be like maybe ELA because in there it's kind of easier and I do well in the class. So I say it's one of my favorite classes. It's pretty chill.
I love it. I love it.
Gotta see.
I have a secret to tell you. Well, it's not much of a secret, but let me tell you, because I don't think we've ever talked about this. But I was an English major in college. That's my major. That's what I got a degree in. And so I've taught English. I believe people should be able to speak very well, use words, small, medium, and big words in the right times and places. So that's good, man. What do you have a favorite book that you've ever read? Like, do you have a book, one of your favorite books or stories, anything? Do you have one?
Nah, I mean, when I read, it was around the same books, so like a book series, just something like Diary with a
Uh-oh.
Kid. I went through those books a lot.
Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna recommend one for you. I want you to remember this, and I'm gonna text your dad and this so you'll know. But one of the favorite, this book changed my life, Dylan. Right here, this book changed. It's by an author by the name of Ralph Ellison, and he has a book called The Invisible Man. You remember that book, Bradley? You remember? Hey,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
so I want you to
Absolutely.
get that book, Dylan. I want you to read that book. It's called Invisible Man. Um, Ralph Ellison is the author. It's a legendary book, man. I think you find it very interesting, and I hope it has the same effect on you that it had on me because that book changed my life, honestly. And shout out to my English teachers all the way back from Morrow High School, Miss Bennett, all the way up to Dr. Harris at Morrow High School, man. Them ladies really poured into me English wise and really helped me develop as I prepared to go on to college and everything. But yes, sir. Invisible Man, Ralph Ellison. Everybody watching this video, check it out. I think
Okay, I
y'all will
got
find it very, very good. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But I love that English is your favorite subject, man. I don't usually get that. Yes, sir. So here's a question for both of y'all. How important? Now your dad already said a good person. So Dylan, this is really for you, but Bradley, I want you to expand on this. How important is it for student athletes and youth in general, Dylan, like other young people that you deal with, young ladies, young men? How important is it for them, for you all, because this is your generation, for y'all to display good character at home, in the community, and in school? How important is that for you and your peers, you believe?
I know that is very important because you never know who you may be around. You never know the room that you're in or the people that may be in that room. Because at a point you may need them. At a point you may know that may not be able to help you in something that you ain't know that you had coming up or that you may need their help in. And so it's always good to make sure you be respectful. All those things that's important. Just being a good person and also just to have a good reflection of yourself, so nobody has something bad to say about you being like
Woo,
doing good for yourself and doing good for your parents because they taught you well, or even if they and you've seen people do wrong, so you know what's right.
woo, woo. You seen people do wrong, but you know what? Woo, woo. But you are a scholar, Dylan. You see people do wrong, but you know what's right. Woo. Hey, I like that, Dylan. I like that, man. I like that. And you said something else that's real good. So I gotta write it down. You said having a good reflection of yourself. Now, Dylan, I don't know if you know this or not, but around the country, student athletes, just students in general, just young people in general, young adults, like suicide rates are up
Oh my God, yes.
because people do not have good reflections of themselves. That's the reason that they're doing these horrible things to themselves.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if you knew that or not, but for you to say having a good reflection of yourself, that's so important. But see, I'm a spiritual guy. I believe in God. And I know one of the things that if I'm feeling down, I know I have to turn to God to get that strength back up. I pray in the whole nine. And having a good reflection of yourself, I put that all together with loving God. Because if you love God, then 9 times out of 10, you're going to love yourself and you're going to be able to move forward. But man, seeing a young man talking about having a good reflection of themselves, hey, brother, I love that. Bradley, you want to expand on that anymore? On
I
that as
mean,
far as the importance of our young people showing good character?
man, it's important because your character is going to take you places that those balls you shooting or hitting or catching can't take you. Your character is in that room when you ain't in that room. When that people discuss you, they're discussing your character. So that character, like I said, that character takes you places that even your grades can't even take you. If you're a 3.8 student, but you act like a complete idiot outside the classroom, you don't know how to talk to people, you don't know how to act, the way you carry yourself, that speaks far more than your 3.8 GPA.
Yeah,
So
I
that
agree.
that part is imperative that our young men and women understand that how important your character is.
Man,
It's a
I
true
love it.
reflection of who you are. Not a. It's not a. That is everything.
Yeah. Yeah,
It
I
speaks.
agree with you. Character is everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the
I like
loudest.
what you're saying. Oh, go ahead, Brad. Go ahead.
I was saying your character is the loudest echo in the room. It's the
I
loudest echo
like
in the
that.
room. Your character is.
I like that. The loudest character, the loudest echo in the room is your character. Woo! Hey, y'all are some philosophers. I see these Mason men are some philosophers over here. Loudest echo in the room. I love it. I love it. Is your character. Wow. Yeah, so when we go, and I had to write that down, man. That's beautiful. When we go into schools, so Dylan, I want you to know this, man, because I see the way you speak and you headed in the direction I think is amazing. Because when we go to schools and I ask young people, I say, do y'all know what character is? They raise their hands. They give out their answers, and then one of the ways I describe character is simply this: what will you do when no one is looking? What will you do when nobody is watching? And see, I have two daughters, Dylan, so I tell them, hey, my whole thing, just like your dad has shared with you and your brother, is I'm not gonna be around you forever. I'm not gonna be here on earth forever. So what are you going to do? How are you going to think? How are you going to act? How are you going to problem solve? How are you going to move forward when nobody's around to guide you? That's character. You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense, Dylan?
Yeah, I
Yes,
understand.
sir. Yes, sir. That's awesome, man. Hey, Bradley, thank you for that, man. The loudest echo in the room is your character. Woo. Yeah, I like that. So now, Dylan, what has been the key? Because now you of age, you're doing a lot of stuff on your own now. What has been the key to balancing all the work, sports, the activities that you participate in? What do you believe has been the key to that?
I say it's first understanding time management because everything has to be done on a certain amount of time, and understanding that. Also, that I also need a break sometimes. So I know I may have this assignment due, but that's why but I still got a couple more assignments to do, and then try to force all into them in one day could lead to stress, and you just overwhelmed about the work, and then practicing because sometimes I may get home a little later because practice may be a little longer. But time management, still understanding when I need a break, still trying to balance fun and school, and so make sure I'm still having fun within the sport, but also get what I need to do done in the time that I need to get it done.
Wow. Time management. So we call time management with the Student Athlete Achievement Program, we call it time usage. How do we use our time? Because time cannot be managed because it just keeps going, right? So we say, man, how do we use our time? And you talked about it. I might have to stay at practice later. So I know what I got to do when I get home. So I got to use my time correctly. Then you said a word that's a huge word, stress. How do we manage stress? And I heard you say, "Oh, I got to learn when to take a break." Man, Dylan, that's some good stuff, bro. You help. Hey, Dylan, I don't know if you know this, but you helping a lot of people when you sharing how you handle your business every day. That's beautiful, man. Time usage and hey, with the stress situation, when I'm stressed, I have to learn. I've learned I need to take a break. Like that, man. That's beautiful, Dylan. That's beautiful. Now, Bradley,
Yes.
as Dylan's dad, you see what's going on in the world right now. We got a lot of stuff going on right now.
Yeah.
Is there anything specific you are pointing out to Dylan for him to be aware of right now and to prepare himself for? Like, what kind of conversations y'all having about this crazy world we living in right now?
Yeah. Well, one of the big things is that circle of friends that you call your friends, that little circle that you hang with, that you spend most of the time in. Each one of those individuals is a reflection of who you are,
Ooh.
because that's who you spend your time with. That's who you choosing to be with. When you have your downtime, that's who you invest in your time with this little group. So that's a reflection on you. So make sure those people around you are quality people, because you don't need the other stuff. That's enough of that out there. We don't need no. We need to add to that. And so that's that's really big. Is not that's just having good people around you, keeping a good set of people around you.
Woo.
And that's one of the big things.
Man.
It's like, being the 16 now, everybody's starting to get driver's license, learn to drive. Hopping in cars with everybody, you just can't hop in everybody's car. Don't be hopping in these cars. And make sure you know who's getting in your car. But you finna run, because everybody run Chick-fil-A and, hey, can you run me up to Chick-fil-A after school and run me to they all want Chick-fil-A and American Deli. That's the only thing they eat. So hey, can you run me in here to get this? No, everybody walking them halls, they're not the people you need to have in the car with you. Just know that. Just know that. So just be mindful of that. Because once they get in the car, you're responsible for that person, and vice versa. Make sure you know who you're responsible for, and you're responsible for them and their acts.
I love it. Circle of friends. Your circle of friends are a reflection of you. Yes. Hey, Bradley, that's a great message right there. I love that. Your circle of friends. And Dylan, do you want to speak to that? Like when you learn something like that, because your dad is absolutely right. Your circle of friends can make you or break you.
That's
And
right.
as you continue to grow, those same friends can end up being business partners. They can end up being investors. Yeah, man, all that is critical. Networking and that who surrounds you is critical. Well, what's your thoughts on that when you start talking about circle of friends, Dylan? What's your thoughts on that?
Just like, even if, like, how I picked, I'd probably be like, I don't want to say keep it, just kind of keep your circle small. Understand that not everybody, you don't need to be cool with everybody, you don't need to be liked by everybody, but making sure, you don't have no problems with people either. Be a nice person, kind person, stay in your lane, don't go out your way, because it can get you put in situations that you may not want to be in, and watching who come around you, and then making sure they all positive people, good people doing the right thing.
Yeah, I like that. I like that phrase you use. Stay in your lane. That's definitely a old school lane. I mean, an old school phrase. But I think that phrase is gonna last forever. Cause stay in your lane. If you stay in your lane, so you a track guy. I never ran track. I was a football and baseball guy, Dylan. So I ain't understand that stay in your lane too tough. But you learn how to stay in your lane. Hey man, things might work out real good for you. So I like that. And definitely if y'all start driving, you absolutely better stay in your lane. Or you're gonna have some problems. So I like that, Dylan. I like that, man. That's good stuff. Good. I like your perspective. I like the way you thinking, young man. So that's good. That's good. So Dylan, do you have any college and or professional athletes that you look up to that you admire?
I probably say like I know growing up I watched LaMelo Ball because like he always like with him playing sports you always can tell he having fun. He's smiling, have good
You said
energy.
Carmelo? Did you say Carmelo?
And I said LaMelo Ball.
Lomelo,
Oh, LaMelo. Oh,
the ball boys.
I'm about to say what you know about Carmelo. Okay. I like, boy, you really been here before. Okay. All right. LaMelo Ball. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
them
Got
ball
it.
boys.
I know I watched him a lot
Okay.
growing up because I was big on basketball for a moment, but also like but watching him play even still now, he like always have like good energy. You can always tell he out there having fun. So I say it's also good to
Right.
have fun within your sport. Keep a smile on your face, have fun, keep doing what you're doing. So yeah, good influence.
Okay.
Watched for a long time.
That's what's up. LaMelo Ball. Okay. You gonna make me take another look at LaMelo. Okay, okay. I do see him smiling. You know what? Now that I think I've seen him in some commercials and stuff. Yeah, he does smile a lot. So that's cool. Okay. Hey, see, different perspectives make people start thinking. Make you say, okay. I like that, Dylan. So LaMelo Ball. Okay, I like that. And I know you like English, so you got a couple more years before you head off to college. But what are you looking at? What are you looking at? Looking forward a little bit. What are you looking at as far as college is concerned? As far as what you may major in, or we can jump to what do you want to do professionally in life? What are you looking at doing?
Professionally, I know. Well, first of all, college, I probably say somewhere around in finance because you have to understand money to make money, and within growing your own business, which is something I want to do at one point. It makes and breaks certain businesses. It's not just about getting people to come to your business. It's also about you managing the people that come in and the money that you get coming in, having to understand it at a high level, so you can be able to work things out. And so you won't tear your own business down when it could be doing good and could get to you, and it can get to you in great spaces. So I say you got to learn about that. And I know at one point I want to have something of my own within business.
Okay, I love that finance man. Okay, I like that. Hey, well, I think that's one of the businesses and the industries of business that it's going to always be hot, the financial sector. And so I think you're in a great place because the world is changing. The only constant is change, and you getting ready to go into your junior year, continue to pay attention to what are the trends, what are the hottest businesses, what are the hottest business fields where that you can look in and see where you can get your piece of the pie from. I like that, Dylan. I love the financial, and we'll talk about that because I have several friends in the financial industry right now, from being an actuary to working at actual banks to being actual brokers, as far as investment brokers and things that set up people's accounts. So yeah, man, there's a lot of business you can do in the financial world, and I love that you're interested in that because financial literacy is one of the major things that we all have to continue to get better at. So that
Yes.
like you said it, you can earn money, but just because you got the money don't mean you know what to do with it, and it can be gone just like that.
Right.
And with young men like yourself, young ladies out here making it happen. Now that these young people in high school can get NIL deals.
All right.
Hey, bro, it's a lot of young people getting to that money, and One of the worst things you want to have is you getting all this money at 18 years old, and then by 25, you broke it in a joke. That's not what we want to happen. We want these young people to get this money, know what to do with it, know how to save and invest it, and grow from there and have great starts to their adult lives. And that's what we want to see happen with you as well, Dylan. So it looks like you well on your way to that, my brother. And that's beautiful.
Thank
That's
you.
beautiful. Yes, sir. You welcome, man. You welcome. So as we get ready to end this and come to a conclusion of this conversation, it's been an awesome conversation, man. I'm very, very impressed with you, Dylan. And I love the way you've grown up, man, since I initially met you when you was a little guy. I'm gonna start with your dad and then let you close out. So there's a lot of coaches, other student athletes, youth service providers watching this video. There's an 8-year-old that's gonna watch this video, Bradley, Dylan, and they want to end up being like you, Dylan. They want to be an outstanding high school student athlete with a 3.1 GPA and participating and going to state and competing with the best student athletes around. Mr. Bradley,
Yes, sir.
Mason Sr., what would you share with these student athletes, parents, coaches, educators that are watching this video? What would you like to share when we get ready to close out?
Man, the number one thing is just making sure the classroom work is taken care of, because all those other goals you got in mind, if you don't manage what's going on in that classroom, no matter how great that dribble is, how far you can throw that football, how nice that fastball you throw is, how fast you run around that 40-meter track. If you can't get that done, everything else is diminished. So you got to take care of those classes. And sometimes that takes a little more work than once you got out of class. The same extra work you take on shoot extra free throws after practice or getting a couple extra reps in on the football field or vice versa, you have to do that in the classroom too. Sometimes you got to do a little more studying once you get home. And so it's imperative, because what you want to do, once you walk across that stage, the adulthood journey starts that day you walk on the stage. You're not grown, but the journey starts that day. And you need to be being prepared. Like I said, it's a great thing to go out and make money, but if you don't know how to manage that money and manage yourself, that's why we watch you can pull up on any sports thing, you'll find a basketball, football, baseball guy who 3 years out of retirement, they broke. And that's the person did job. How do you lose $47 million? You made $47 million over a 7-year career, and now you then filed Chapter 11 and Chapter 7. Like, how do you lose $47 million? But financial literacy, not knowing how to manage, not letting everyone have access to your finances, knowing how to manage your money, learning how to read a contract. Don't just take care of that. You better read what these folks giving you.
Right.
You better read this, and sometimes, and you just can't give your cousin, your homeboy these titles to manage money who has no background in that. We see that's what LeBron's doing with his high school circle. But these guys all went to school for these different things, except for one of those guys that he went to school, but he didn't graduate. But all those guys, Maverick, them, they all went to college. They got degrees, and that's why they're doing what they're doing. He didn't just get some random guys who finished high school with him, just gave him these immaculate titles, and now they're making millions of dollars. No, they learned what they're doing. So focus on the academic part. Sports is great. Both my boys have been participating in sports since they were 3-4 years old. But we made sure the classwork was taken care of. We focus on being good people and quality individuals, and the sports stuff gonna come. If you keep working at it, you're gonna be pretty good at it. That don't mean you're gonna be. That don't mean you're finna be all state. You're gonna go and play at UGA or somewhere. No, it means that can I compete with my peers? Can I compete with my peers?
Absolutely.
And sometimes, and then are you one of them lucky 2% to get this D1 offer? Because only about 2% of all these seniors in high school this year that's graduating in 2025 will play at a Division I level.
That's absolutely true.
Somebody got to go to Shorter College. Somebody got to go down to Fort Valley. In my mind, I thought one day I'm going to Tech. Well, then it drops down. Maybe I can go to Georgia Southern. Then that ain't working. I need to drop whatever. What's the next level? Maybe I can get into Mercer. And you got to where can I go compete? And everybody chasing these NIL deals, thinking I'm finna go make this I'm gonna get at least $250,000 a year. Nah,
Now everybody not getting that. That's right.
no. Some people getting $1,500 a month, and some people getting
Absolutely.
some people just getting room and board.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Some people just getting room
But
and
that's the
board.
standard scholarship right there. Now that's the standard
what it is.
scholarship.
That
Yeah,
they getting room and
absolutely.
board. You come to this
Absolutely.
cafe and eat as many times as you want. That's your room and board.
Absolutely.
But the biggest thing is
Yes,
just
sir.
focus on that and just make sure you know and checking on your kids. Make sure hey they're okay. Have real conversations with them. Don't just sell them some dream. Have real conversation and be truthful to them. Be truthful about what they're doing athletically, what they're doing academically. You can't be struggling in math and science and tell me I want to be an engineer.
Right.
You can have
Right.
real conversation with your children. I want to be an
Right.
engineer, but I'm struggling with algebra too. That may not be the
Right.
plan people take.
Right.
You know, so you gotta have an honest conversation with your kids. Everybody think their kids are great, which is great to have, but you got to be honest with yourself and with your kid. Like you can do anything you want to do that's within your skill set. We already heard that
Yes.
you can be anything you want to be. No, you can be anything you want to be within your skill set. Let's
Right. I love it.
dream big, but dream of dream where you can reach it. At some point, it's obtainable. You can reach versus something you like. I want to be a professional baseball. I want to be a professional baseball pitcher, and my fastball is 62. I probably ain't gonna never pitch a game. It just
Right.
that's not an obtainable goal.
Right.
I need to start working on my swing a little bit more. Maybe I can hit a ball instead of throwing a ball.
Yes, sir. Man, Bradley, I love it. The biggest thing I got out of that was be truthful to yourself and be truthful to your children. Have them conversations, those real conversations with your children. Yes. And let's set some realistic goals that are obtainable for our children and for ourselves.
Yes.
Hey man, I love that. I love that, Bradley. Thank you, brother. I love that. Now, Mr. Dylan Mason, what would you like to let the young people that's coming up behind you know as we close out this awesome video conversation?
I'd probably just let them know that don't look at somebody else and compare yourself to them, because you may not have the access that they had, and you may have to work a little harder to get to the position that they was in. So just in case you didn't get it as fast as they got it, or get it the same way they got it, doesn't mean that you can't get what they have. Looking at certain people and then being like, oh, I need this now. It ain't about now. It's gonna take you some work to get there, because some people miss the work that they had, that the person that they be watching or influenced by may miss the work that they had. And so to you it may seem like they got it easy or got it overnight, and it's don't happen like that. It take a few nights to get that one night to make that change in your life. So I say that don't try to compare yourself to someone else too hard. Appreciate what you have, understand what you have, be proud about the goal that you just hit. That's why you gotta have short-term goals and then keep pushing through, go to the next goal, and after a while you're gonna hit the big goal that you've been wanting to hit since you was young.
Woo! Woo! Yeah. These Mason men are scholars. Ain't no doubt about that. Both of y'all, Bradley Mason Sr., Dylan Mason, both of y'all started off with work ethic. Your daddy Dylan said you gotta hit them books. You gotta put in the work. Because then it doesn't even, if you don't do that, all the sports stuff doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter.
On the team.
Say that again?
Say I know, because they're not gonna let you on the team if the grade's not right.
Exactly. And then you said the same thing. You got to put the work in. You got to be willing to do what other people are not willing to do. Then, Dylan, you actually said comparison. Now, I haven't mentioned this tonight, but this is the phrase I learned, and I loved it ever since when somebody taught me this. Comparison. I want y'all to listen up, parents, coaches, educators, everybody. Comparison is the thief of joy. Let me say that again. Comparison is the thief of joy. You go around comparing yourself to everything you see on Facebook, everything you see on IG, everything you see on X, you'll go absolutely crazy. I'm just going to be real. You'll go absolutely crazy.
Yes.
So Dylan is absolutely right. Appreciate Dylan Mason right here, 15-year-old young man, outstanding track and field, outstanding cross-country student athlete at the mighty Creekside High School in Fairburn, Georgia, said, you better appreciate what you got. Appreciate what you had. Man, hey, Dylan, you said something right there, man. So we're going to close out like this. Bradley, thank you for doing an outstanding job with your sons, man. Because like I say, I have two daughters. Got one about to graduate from college. Got one in the 8th grade, getting ready to going to high school next year. And these are the kind of young men I want my young ladies to interact with. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
These are the kind of young men that I want my daughters to interact with. And so, ladies and gentlemen out here, you've heard a great conversation from the Mason men. Now I'm going to call them the scholars of the Mason family. That's what I'm going to start calling them. And I appreciate you all taking the time tonight to share your wisdom, to share your experiences, to share your thoughts and ideas with the world. And Dylan, I wish you much success, young man. And I am here. I'll tell you right now in front of your dad, if you do need to call me or need to reach out to me, do not hesitate to do that. This is what we do. Me and your dad been talking about this kind of stuff for a long time now. And you and your brother are proof. Y'all the pudding. Y'all are the proof in the pudding of what your dad, when I first met your dad and hearing him talk, y'all the examples of that. And so I salute you, my brother, Bradley Mason. And Dylan, I salute you, young man, for putting in that work and keep doing that, man. Because y'all done blessed us tonight. Let me run down these phrases again from the beginning. Work ethic. Y'all wrote all this stuff down. Good person. Good attitude. The way we carry ourselves. Having a good reflection of yourself. The loudest echo in the room is your character. Time usage is so important. If you have stress, learning how to take a break. Man, being aware and making sure you have a good circle of friends, because your circle of friends is a reflection of you. Being truthful with yourself and being truthful with your children. Comparison. Be careful of doing all this comparing. Comparison is the thief of joy. And last but not least, let us all be thankful and grateful and appreciate what we have in our lives. Hey, thank y'all for watching the Student Athlete Playbook video conversation featuring Dylan Mason and his dad, Mr. Bradley Mason Sr. I am Barry Brown, author of the Amazon bestseller, The Student Athlete Playbook, Success in the Classroom, Sports, and Life, a member of Youth Education and Sports, the Student Athlete Achievement Program, where we want to see all our young people, from student athletes to student artists, achieve great things in their lives and do it while they're showing outstanding character. Hey, we appreciate y'all. If you need to get in touch with us, visit youtheducationandsports.org. Again, that's youtheducationandsports.org. And we always say, one love.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.